everyone, I'm back again with another video of mine, and you all know me. I'm Mona Lisa Joshi, the founder and director of Chrysanthemum Chronicles. It's a contemporary publishing house that I run from New Delhi, and today I'm here to do an unwrapping of the recent book on Lord Shiva that has come out from my publishing house. It's a long cherished dream that has come true, and today I'm not only going to give out the story hidden behind it, that why I brought this theme as a book and why I gave this theme and prompt in the group and what was my emotional feeling behind it, a little bit of story, and also I'm going to read from my acknowledgement, and also I'm going to do the unwrapping in front of you. So without further ado, let me first do the unwrapping, and then I would be giving out the story of how this whole theme came into my mind and why I have named this book The Aniconic Cosmic Dancer, Verses of the Divine. So here I'll do the unwrapping. As you can see, this is the book. This is the front cover page, and this is the back cover page holding the picture and illustration of Nataraja, the dancing form and the Tandava form of Lord Shiva. And if I'm anywhere mistaken, do correct me, because I'm also an amateur when it comes to mythology or divine things, but still we have done our best, and all the writers and poets involved have given their emotional and candid feelings towards Lord Shiva. So I'm going to do the unwrapping first, and then I'll read the acknowledgement, and also I'll give you the story of how this whole concept came into my mind. So I'll tear down this plastic wrapper. This book is looking so divine, so gorgeous, so beautiful. Holding it is a grateful feeling, a feeling of gratitude, because this book has all our emotions hidden and all our prayers, obeisance, everything that we could have been possibly offered to Lord Shiva. And all the poets have done amazing job by giving out the poems that will really touch your heart, really touch that cosmic soul, I should say, the vibe of the universe, and you will also feel tuning with it. So I'll go ahead and read the acknowledgement, and also I would be giving out the story. But first let me start with the acknowledgement. Well, we all have heard so many stories of Lord Shiva, and some of the tales I have also heard during my childhood days, and I have tried to write those down through my acknowledgement, giving out the feelings of what and why I wanted to bring this book out. Before I start, let me first thank my senior editor Nandita De, who has done an impeccable job in editing this book, going through it not only once but twice and thrice until she was satisfied that this was good for going to print. And I'm also thankful to Shakuntala Kanakagiri ma'am, who has written the foreword for it, which is a very profound foreword where she has given all the avatars, all the forms of Lord Shiva, and when you read it, you will actually feel the vibes. I was actually going through it in my last video, which I made outside, and while I was reading it, I was actually having goosebumps when I was actually spelling those names out, like Ardhanarishvara, Narsimha, and I'm sorry, not Narsimha. There were many other roop and forms of Lord Shiva that she has given, like Chandrasekhar, Neelakantha. So I was really having goosebumps, and now I'm going to start with the acknowledgement of what and why, a little bit of it, and then I'll give you the story. So here I start. Since my origin begins from a Bengali household, I have grown up hearing stories of Lord Shiva and Goddess Kali from an age when I was able to understand these mythological tales, and from then on, they have fascinated me so much that till day I put my prayers in front of Goddess Kali and Shiva. Wondrously, from those tales, I loved listening to that part repetitively when my mother used to ask me, "Do you know why Kali's tongue is dangling out from her mouth in all of her images?" I knew the answer, but it always brought a sense of freshness to my understanding, so I would say a simple no with curious eyes staring at my mother's beautiful face. And she would again tell me that story. Because when she became really fuming, assassinating all the devils and eradicating evil from the earth, she lost her senses and didn't see she had caused so much destruction around, and there was no greater force on earth than her husband, Lord Shiva himself, who could stop her wrath. So he laid down upon the earth, and Kali, still lost in her own world of creating mayhem, mistakenly put her feet over the chest of her husband. Immediately, her tongue came out in guilt and shame of putting her feet over her husband, and she stopped her wrath at once. That is how only Lord Shiva could stop Kali's wrath. Unknowingly, this mythological explanation became such a huge part of me that by the time I understood the unison of a man and a woman, I started seeing Lord Shiva and Kali as the greatest of the lovers on earth, and often wondered how greater their record must be that being Shakti herself, she treasured and respected Purush. It made my heart swell with pride that Shiva defied all the laws of patriarchy and kept Shakti, a woman, on the top among all the gods and goddesses. I found the story extremely fascinating too when Lord Shiva became forlorn and in despair began his Tandava, roaming around over the earth with Sati's body over his shoulder. These orally told stories, which was a custom back then, as we had still not got ourselves trapped in the world of gizmos and gadgets that the internet throws at us these days, was more like a ritual, listening to bedtime stories from a mother or grandmothers. And as much as they loved telling, children too, particularly me, loved listening to the tales of many gods and goddesses. Lord Shiva was more like a superhero to me. I found his anomaly extremely interesting. He was a rogue when he was Rudra. He was all-pervading within the vibrations of Om, and most loving as Purush. But what intrigued me most was his melancholic and forlorn side, where he was sulking for his Sati and was broken into bits. His rage broke all hell's loose when he began thumping his feet. The earth shook and all life source was coming to an end. His dance form Tandava is symbolic as a dance of obliteration, and this is the most feared avatars of Shiva. But when his dance is subtle and cosmic, he becomes the Nataraja, and this is what depicts him as the creator, the destroyer, and the preserver, and it's all tied in a vicious cycle of repetition, which is what the sphere symbolizes behind his posture. But these are all human-created explanations, which we have read, understood, and followed from time immemorial. I rather see Lord Shiva as the epitome of Purusha, who adores his woman counterpart, and together they teach us the lesson of beautiful monogamic relationship, and that one body and one soul concept also becomes truthful in my eyes. Nevertheless, this poetry anthology too has taken shape by the understanding of the prompt given on the Facebook page of Chrysanthemum Chronicles, and I feel deeply privileged and humbled towards all the poets who have shared their candid and divine connect with the Lord and have poured the brilliant poems from their deft pens. Truthfully, the aniconic Cosmic Dancer is that poem I wrote long back when I was feeling a huge impulse to write down my feelings and emotions of how I perceived Lord Shiva. For me, his form remains all-pervading and an omnipotent entity that is present in this universe, and that universe is present within us all, and we all are a part of this vast cosmos. I strongly believe we are subconsciously traveling many a time into the different dimensions of this universe, where our soul becomes aligned with the omnipotent force, the Lord himself. The chanting of Om is that source which connects us with Shiva's vibrations, and he is present in every single cell of this universe. His aniconic and amorphous form is what resides and pulsates within us all, and we are breathing from his universe. I'll stop here because there's one more page. It would be a big video otherwise. I'm sorry. So this was the acknowledgement, a little bit of I've given already, that I wanted to express my feelings towards Lord Shiva. But how this poem came into my mind, it was actually long back, somewhere near in 2014 or 15 maybe. I had watched a movie called Magadhira. It's a South Indian movie. I'm not exactly sure which language, because I was watching the dubbed version of it. And where in one of the scenes, I saw a huge statue of Lord Shiva in his form, Tandava avatar. And I was so immersed into it. I felt such a huge connection with that whole stature of Lord Shiva, that I really wanted to write this poem down, which is now the title of the book, The Aniconic Cosmic Dancer. And that is how my poem came to life, and it was breathing on my blog, which I rarely get to visit these days, but that's where I wrote the first poem. And after that, a long period passed away. I turned myself into an author, and then I turned myself into a publisher. Now I'm running my own publishing house with the title Chrysanthemum Chronicles. And then one day, suddenly, it actually came into my mind. I was revisiting the blog, and where I saw that poem, and I felt that why not change this poem into a book. And I brought this theme out on Facebook, and it was accepted so warmly by all the writers who not only felt a deeper connection just like I did. Maybe there was something that actually connected also with those writers, that also made them feel the way I felt, maybe that they also wrote for this, the way I have given the whole guidelines, the theme, the prompt, that how they have to bring out their poems. They actually did that, and they have done such an amazing job. I'm so thankful to all the writers, all the poets who have written for this book. And this is the reason why this book has come out to life. Only that particular poem has become a book now, because there are some 22, not some, exactly 22 writers, including me, who have written. And it's amazing book. And you must gift yourself this savan, because this is today is Monday, and there's a week also, which the savan is still there. So you must gift yourself this book, or you can gift to somebody who is inclined towards Lord Shiva, or who loves spiritual books and religious books to read. And this is going to be a memorable gift if you gift it to somebody, this Rakhi or this Savan, and for many other festivities that would be coming in this year 2022. And this is right now available through Amazon, and soon it will be available through Flipkart. It's only 200 at price, and it's very cheap, and you get such a beautiful collection of poetry. See, as you can see, there are illustrations. And I have to tell you one secret, and that is that this is my first poetry book in a way that I have typeset. I have been typesetting fiction books, but for a poetry book, for me to typeset a poetry book, this is my first experience. And if I have to say that how I felt about it, I actually feel satisfied, because I have been able to bring out just the way I had all the concepts in my mind, that how I wanted to do this book. And this is the page where you get to meet all the poets. So I have made them like a one-page collage where you can meet all the poets, and it's also in the order of how the poems are placed inside the book. So this book is something now that will remain close to my heart, because the whole theme that came to life long back it came, the whole prompt, the whole concept, but I wanted to do something, but it was keep storing inside my mind, and I wanted to bring it out. And finally, though it took a lot of process, it got delayed in between for many reasons, but finally I'm glad it's out, and it has been edited by senior editor Nandita De. And there's some element hidden in it which tells about our next book that might be coming in the future, and maybe not in this year, but in the next year. But there's a hint, because I'm going to bring out one of my poetry books, and I have given an Easter. If you are able to find it, it mentions it that the two lines, if you read in the back, you will get an idea of what might be the next book of mine. So and there are some other books coming. The next might be the horror graphic novel, or maybe the monochrome verses. So you have to stay connected, subscribe to the channel, follow the website, subscribe to the mailing list, and also be part of the Facebook group page if you want to stay updated about all the updates, all the events, all the future books that are going to come. And if you are a writer and want to get published, go to the Get Published segment and find out all the guidelines, and also support us and buy some of the books, including this one. This is the recent one, and some of the titles are placed there. Demigods Alive, Macabre Tales, and Songs of a Mermaid, that has been published by senior editor Deepak K. Chaudhary sir. And this is the recent one, and there's another. I could not find the place to place it. It's called To Frida with Love, and I'm sorry, all the books are mostly staying in inventory. I just bring them whenever there are orders. So these are some of them which I've kept, and I'm really proud. I feel blessed that this book has come out from my publishing house, and some amazing titles are coming out soon this year. So for that, you have to stay updated, and for that, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel, because most of the events happening, or the future books, or the submissions that I'm going to bring out are coming through video posts through the CC official channel. So subscribe to this channel and support me as a woman entrepreneur, because I promise I'm going to give you rich literature. And this one is a divine book, a divine a book full of divine verses, and this is our Savan offering. I hope you would grab it. It's only at 200, so it's not a very big price. You can just grab it today and gift it to maybe your mother, to your brother, to your sister, because Rakhi is there. Rakhi is coming, so I hope you will grab it. So bye all, take care, and keep writing and stay connected. Many videos and content is coming. Bye all.